What is up, guys? So I wanted to shoot one last updated what's in my truck video because I feel like my equipment, or I'm always getting something new or making a change. A lot of the equipment's still the same, but I'm going to show you guys both my pressure washing and carpet cleaning equipment I'm currently carrying on my truck. And what we'll do is we'll break down some numbers, and then at the end of this, after I show you guys the equipment I have and we go over numbers, we're going to talk about a couple of ways or kind of like strategies on how to make this full time for yourself. So a couple people asked me, like, what can I do to take this full time? And so we're just going to discuss some things I think are important when that's your goal to take this business full time. Like, how do you make that transition? So let's go ahead and jump into the truck and show you guys what I'm currently carrying. Like, what's my setup like? All right, guys. So starting with the back of the truck, and what we'll do is we'll start up top and work our way down. All right, cool. So up top, I've kind of like rigged it up a little bit so I'll have be able to store a couple things up here. Not the most, professional, but it's creative. Anyway, so over here, this is a tool I rarely ever use. This is an extension pole. It's handy sometimes, but out of the whole year, I maybe use this thing twice. So is it a necessary? No. This thing is only really necessary in very, very rare situations, or it's necessary if you don't know how to soft wash. Then you'll think you need this to clean two-story homes, and you don't. Like I said, very rare instances do I use that tool right there. It's an extension pole. Then over here, what do we have? A squeegee. I think everyone should have a squeegee, especially when like you clean porches and stuff, or certain driveways to where the water builds up when you're, in certain build-up zone areas in the driveway. Certain driveways are built to where water doesn't really drain very well. So having a squeegee will be very handy for you. Beside it, this is a carpet rake, so that's one of the carpet cleaning equipment tools. And then beside it, this last one is very handy to have. This is a extension pole that's just like a multi-use, so I can attach different attachments to the end of this, so different tools. I don't know exactly how long this gets, but it's very, very handy. I attach a window squeegee to this. I attach a pretty much like a duster tool, a gutter tool. So there's this is very, very useful to have. I definitely recommend having one of these extension poles, especially if you want to be able to knock down like wasp nests and stuff. This thing gets pretty high. I think it's at least 18 feet. It might be. I think this one's actually 24 feet. It gets pretty much as tall as my ladder does, almost. Working our way down, we have our surface cleaner. I do not remember how many inches this one is, but it's a decent size. Works great. I've had it for a few years now. Probably should go ahead and do a little bit of maintenance on it and change up the nozzles, clean them and everything. But yeah, so definitely recommend having one of these. Oh yeah, price wise, so one of these, I think when I bought it was about between $350 and $400. Do you need one of those to start off with? No, you don't. You could go with one of these. This is from Lowe's, and yes, even as a professional, I keep it. Why? That's $70, but it's handy for things like cleaning a small sidewalk or a porch or some steps, and you just don't want to. It's gonna save you time. You don't want to have to hook up the big one, and sometimes it's actually gonna be more convenient just to use that one because it's smaller and it fits in those areas you need to clean better. So recommend having both. If you can't afford both, then just have one of those. Make your money, invest, and get one of these, because this is really about saving time, right? And also looking more professional. This industry has kept me accountable in the beginning. It was just about money, but professionalism has been one of the things that I've learned over the years is how you come off to the customer, pretty much. I'm gonna flip the camera to myself real quick and flip the mic. There we go. So how you come off to the customer is very, very important. So it's actually funny. I did a job a couple of days ago for a customer I did like 2 years ago, and my setup wasn't what it is now. I was using a trailer, but I had like regular pressure washers from like probably Lowe's or something. And back then, it was fine. I made the money, but like it's funny pulling up to him a couple days ago. He's like, "Oh wow, like you've grown. Like you look a lot more professional." And so yeah, like did he use me back then when I wasn't as professional? Yes. But he recognized the difference. So if I can give you guys advice for a lot of you guys, I talk about what you can start off with. Yes, you can start off with the most basic equipment and make money. Number one thing when you do that is focus on your quality of service and your customer service, right? That doesn't matter how professional your equipment looks. If your customer service there and the quality isn't there, how professional you look when you pull up doesn't matter, right? Being able to do the job and being able to be polite and courteous to customers, that's what really matters. But in the long run of things, you do want to also look professional, right? It's just an extra confidence booster, not only for you, but for the customer, right? Because most time if they see you, if somebody right now you go hire a painter or whatever and they pull up in some busted truck whatever and they just don't look professional, you might start to question their quality of service. Unless they were a referral, then it wouldn't really matter as much. But approaching new customers, it makes a difference, especially depending on the market you're going after. You know, if you're going to go after high ticket clients, you need to look professional, right? If you're going to charge the high ticket price and you're pulling up people's houses, the people own homes at $400,000 $400,000 or more, you know, like these are, you know, higher upper middle class people. They don't want you pulling up in some rinky dink look, you know, so look is important, especially depending on your clientele. Anyway, back to the equipment. All right, so let's move over here and talk about this right here. So last What's in My Truck video, I didn't have this machine, but I told you guys this is what I was ordering. So mind it, I should probably wipe it off. It's a little dirty right now. But anyway, so we have our soft wash machine, Stealth Pro. We have our marine grade battery in there. It's a 5.5 GPM, 200 feet of hose in this hose reel. And then behind it, you can see there's a 65-gallon tank in here where I batch mix. And I pretty much only use this for washing roofs and cleaning driveways. And when I say cleaning driveways, I really mean like just pre-treating it and post-treating if need be. But this is super handy. One of my favorite investments I've made this year. Like you guys know, I started off with the Northern Tool machine. Was it okay? Oh, forgot to flip the mic. Was it okay? Yes, it was okay. It was fine. It got the job done. Made me, you know, thousands of dollars. But if you're gonna keep doing something, why not be able to do it better, do it faster, you know, more efficiently? This is a good machine, in my opinion. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, you can always upgrade in this business. So don't get caught up in feeling the need to always upgrade to like keep up with other businesses. Do what works for you and work a business model that works for you. And we'll talk about that later in this video. But for me, in my residential setup, this fits me. So some guys gonna come in here and say, you know, well, you should get this and you should get that and you should upgrade to this. I work a residential business. I don't even touch commercial really. I let other guys have that. I like residential. Money's easy. Jobs are simple. This is good for it. Enough said about that. Cool. So you want a soft wash machine? Get you this one. This one costs about, I think I paid $1,400. This tank behind here was about $260. Right. So altogether, we're looking about what, $1,700 and some change. Cool. One of the other perks about it is, so you have your chemical intake, and then you also have this one right here. You switch that over, and this is how you run fresh water through there to clear the line versus having to use the same line. So having two different lines saves a lot of time as well, because you definitely want to do that, or so you'll kill your pump. Eventually these pumps will go out anyway, but if you leave bleach in them, they're gonna go out faster. Over here inside is just my X-Jet. Nothing special about that. I just have it kind of rigged to a 5-gallon bucket. I X-Jet. Some guys hate it. Some guys love it. I personally don't mind it. You can always downstream, use your soft wash machine, whatever. I don't mind X-Jetting. Cool, simple, explanatory. Gas tank. Hose reel. For the longest time, I was only putting 100 feet of hose in this till I found out that a third one would fit. So there's 150 feet of this hose on here, and I'll tag this in the description. This is from Northern Tool. Personally, I really like this hose. Because the hose that comes with this machine, this Predator machine, I absolutely hate it. It's this blue one. I have two of them. They're my backups. I hate using them because they are completely awful. They are super stiff and they always kind of ravel back up. These are a lot more flexible and they're just like I like them a lot better. Anyway, our Predator machine, I took the little handle piece off right here just because it was taking up space, so I didn't need it right there. 4.2 GPM, 4,400 PSI. It's a real workhorse, like a real workhorse. This will run you about $1,000. That's including like insurance on it. It's pretty reliable. As you can see, I've gotten like bleaches blown kind of in here when I'm washing. So like some of this stuff is starting to get rust. I should take better care of stuff, but that's neither here nor there. $1,000, right? Why a $1,000 pressure washer, right? So residential business. Let me flip my mic again. I keep forgetting to do that. Residential business. You don't need more than like 4 or 5 GPM, because unless you want to carry a buffer tank, I don't carry a buffer tank. So 4.2 GPM for residential is all you need. How much faster can you work on a house? Yeah, you can, you can get the super fancy setups, talk about it all the time. You could spend $15,000-$20,000 on your setup. If you really, you're going for commercial jobs, government contracts, stuff like that, yes, you really want to invest in your setup and make it super efficient as possible. What I have is a residential efficient setup. Like, what I have literally works for me. I make a lot of money doing it, so I'm perfectly fine with it. No one can tell me like, oh, what you have doesn't work, because I have it and it works for me. So it'd be dumb to even argue with me on it. But is this the pinnacle? No, it's not. You can do better. You can get better equipment. Figure out your business model, right? If you want to kind of copy me with residential market, and you can still do commercial with this stuff, but you might want a hot water pressure washer and stuff like that when doing, if you're going to do like gas station and like drive-through pads and dumpster pads and all that stuff, you probably want to have some hot water. But you can still get commercial jobs with this as long as there's a water outlet, right? Because I just don't like carrying my own water. Listen, I'm lean and simple. I want to look professional, but I want to keep it simple at the same time. So that's pretty much for the back of the truck what I can show you guys. This is a pump sprayer, but this is carrying my carpet detail stuff for my pressure washing. My carpet cleaning business. So, and as I mentioned in another video, right now I have everything in the same truck because I just started. Oh, that's in the way. Because I just started carpet cleaning, so it wasn't a point investing in the truck until I get it going and it needs it. All right, and then just the outside of the truck, just to show you guys. So looking professional. This wasn't that expensive. To get my whole truck with graphics plus the window perf was about $750. $750, and I look a lot more professional to customers than just having a white van with no graphics or some, basic letters on there. Above, 24-inch ladder plus a multi folding ladder beside it. Ladder stabilizer. Definitely have one of these. Definitely get one of those if you have a ladder. Will save your life. Let's go to this side of the van and show you guys my carpet cleaning equipment, because that's pretty much what's the main stuff for pressure washing. Then we come in here. We have our Monsoon carpet extractor. I need to wipe it off, but anyway, it's pretty much, I've only used it like twice. This machine will run you about, I think I paid either close to $3,000 for it, including this water heater right here. This is an inline, because this doesn't have a heat. The reason why I got this one is because it has good suction, and I want to be able to leave people's carpets dry in decent time. So we have this inline heater right here. This costs about $500, and that way I can still get heat for my carpet extraction. My wand. This right here is our PowerFlight multi-wash, which acts as a CRB. It's very good, so even after you vacuum, then you use this machine, it picks up more dirt. We use it to agitate the solution to the carpets to really help get into the fibers and do a better job. But I recommend having one of these. This machine right here I think will cost you about $1,500-$1,600. Got some extra buckets behind there that would normally have my sodium hypochlorite, but since we're off season now, the buckets are just sitting there. They're empty because I don't need to carry any bleach, because I'm not doing any more pressure washing for now. Couple of mats. These are just for, wiping off my feet and stuff when I go in people's houses. I'm gonna buy some rollout mats to protect hardwood floors. Just haven't got them yet. My little kind of tool bag right here doesn't have tools, but mainly just carries my chemicals, my spotters and stuff like that. We have a blue light or whatever that can see pet stains. I probably called it the wrong thing. I don't know. Ryobi sprayer. I ordered it. Don't really like it though, because it sprays too slow, and I don't really like how the mixture comes out. So that's why I end up getting that backpack pump sprayer, because I can apply the chemical a lot faster than this thing. I'll still use this though. I'll use it for like carpet protection and maybe deodorizer, stuff like that. But overall, for actually pre-treating the carpet, I do not like it. What else do we have? So we have our little vacuum hose, 25 feet. I ordered more hose because this is definitely not gonna be long enough. I'm gonna have to move the machine around a lot if I only have 25 feet of hose. So invest in more hose if you have a portable machine. And there's a vacuum, but it's just not in here. Besides that, guys, I mean, there's a couple of chemicals and stuff like that, but that's not really that important, right? So I just showed you guys the main equipment. That is my current equipment as of the recording of this video. This is probably like my third what's in my truck video. Reason why is because you know, I've made these upgrades over golly. This audio is gonna be so finicky in this video. I keep forgetting to flip my mic. This is why I like wearing my lapel mic, because I keep on forgetting to flip this shotgun mic back and forth. So I apologize for the audio. But yeah, so as I was saying, this is like my third video with what's in my truck. The reason why is because I'm always changing my equipment if I feel it's necessary. For now, what I have will probably be what I have for a while, unless I see a need to upgrade, but probably not, because like I said, I'm doing residential and I have no desire to get into commercial. So I think what I have is probably a stable point, but I may change my mind. Who knows? That's just life, right? So let's go ahead and go inside the house and talk about numbers a little bit more. We're gonna talk about different budgets you can start with, and then we'll talk about ways to take this thing full time. All right, guys, see you inside the house. Ooh, 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 ooh. No, that ain't it. I don't dance. I do business and YouTube, and that's about it. So those dance moves are no reflection of my business acumen. Anyway, guys, so we're inside now. Let's talk a little bit about numbers, different budgets you can have for getting started in the business. And I just want to bring some clarity, because I don't want to confuse you guys on, I don't want to give mixed messages, because I know you guys will watch old videos, and like my most popular video on this channel to date talks about getting started in the industry with basically entry-level equipment. And I still agree with that notion. I'm just going to give you guys some more context behind it so you guys can choose your strategy for entry, right? So first, let's talk about numbers. So let's go over a setup that I have like right now. I'm just going to kind of look back and forth between the camera and my phone while I calculate, right? So let's just say we had to get everything. So I'm going to estimate a little bit higher. So let's say a van, you need to get a van for about $2 grand, right? $2,000 for the truck if you don't already have a vehicle. If you have a vehicle, we'll set the truck for a trailer, right? So then we're looking at a little bit less of an initial cost if you already have a truck and you can just attach a trailer. So let's just say 2 grand though. 2 grand. And then we're gonna need, if we need to put graphics on our vehicle, let's say $700. So we're at $2,700 to be mobile, right? $1,000 for the pressure washer. Let's say you want to start out with the surface cleaner I have, let's say $350 plus another $75 for the small one. Soft wash machine plus tank for $1,700. What else do we have? A couple of extra hoses, about $70 a piece. So let's say about $200 for hoses. You'll need a water hose as well. So let's say $50 for that. And chemicals, let's say we'll start from $100 worth of chemicals. And then miscellaneous, other costs I'm not thinking about right now, let's just say $300. So to get going and to have a setup similar to what I have right now, hopefully I'm not leaving anything out. I got pressure wash, soft wash machine. Yeah, so to start off about what I have right now, you're looking at about, can you see that, guys? That's about $64.75. So for $6,475, give or take a couple of $100 backwards or forward, you can have the setup I have right now. Do you need that? No. If you have the budget, yeah, by all means, I do recommend starting off looking more professional. So if you can't afford it, then invest the money, because eventually you're going to invest into it. So let's just say if we rounded it off, $7,000, you're all in for your pressure washing business, and the extra 500 we'll say was marketing dollars to actually get clients. So $7,000 or less, you're in, and you have, a pretty decent setup. Now, I would call that medium tier. I would call it a medium tier setup. I don't have a top of the tier setup, right? So, we can get fancier, right? We can go we can spend 10 grand or 15K or 20K and have a really, really super professional looking setup that we can use for commercial, residential. Probably would have, carry our own water. We'd have solid pressure wash. It's probably 8 GPM or something like around that. We'd have a little bit better of a soft wash machine that probably had a blend manifest on it, so we don't have to batch mix. We could have all the bells and whistles, right? But my thing when it comes to business is this, especially this is coming from a younger person's perspective too. I would say that is that one, the more you invest to start a business, the longer it takes to become profitable, right? If somebody invests 20K and another person invests 6K in the same business, person B who invested 6K is going to take them a lot less time to become profitable than the person who invested 20K, unless the person who invested 20K already had, those big jobs lined up. Which chances are, if you're just getting into business, you're not going to have the big commercial contracts. A lot of those things come from, networking, getting known, and really understanding the industry. And if you're a newbie coming in, you're probably not going to have those connections or all that information. So in my personal opinion, it's best to work your way up, right? Because it's great if you outgrow equipment, right? If you outgrow, that means business is doing well and you can just always upgrade, sell off your old equipment, and boom, your investment has been recouped and you've upgraded equipment. But if you start at the high tier, now you're all in. What happens to a lot of guys is they'll get the nice equipment, right? But then they don't know how to market or actually run a business. So then now they've went all in, they've got the fanciest equipment, say they got a loan for it, or they invested, some savings, some retirement into it, and they have their little setup, but then business is slow and it's not working out. And so they keep seeing that business is slow and money is leaving, but nothing's coming in. And then they finally get to a certain point where they're just like, they have to cut their losses and have to sell off their equipment. So that's one way you can take. And I'm not saying everyone who starts off with expensive equipment fails. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just giving you guys perspective and something to think about when it comes to investing in your initial setup. Do you want to start high tier and have that big investment and risk? Or do you want to start medium tier, play a little safer, you'll still make really good money, and if business is good, you can upgrade. If it's not, you just stay where you're at, or you can sell your equipment off, and you're not in as deep, right? So you can, test the waters without having to go too deep into your pockets. And then there's low tier, which is where I started at when I first started this business, which is low tier. And that is out of a hatchback vehicle with a pressure washer. The first pressure washer I ever had was off of Craigslist for $200. Then after that went out, literally what happened was one day before I was supposed to do a job, I was trying out the pressure washer at my parents' house and it was not working. I didn't have a filter on the water inlet. So I think something got in there and messed up the pressure washer. So like simple things I just didn't know. But I had to go out and buy another pressure washer. I think I went to Lowe's and got a credit card and bought a pressure washer on credit card. And for the longest time, I was in the cycle of Lowe's pressure washers. My mind was never thinking to even get a commercial grade pressure washer. It was just thinking, hey, buy this Lowe's one, get the protection plan. If anything goes wrong, you just bring it back, they'll give you another one. That was literally my game for about a year or two when I first got started, being clueless, not having done the research or necessary, education for this business. And I always go back to that, get educated in whatever niche you choose, right? It doesn't even matter. Pressure washing, whatever you choose, it doesn't matter. Get as much education as you can. But that's what happened to me. I was literally chasing my tail, using those machines, and I would get to certain appointments sometimes. I'd be running those machines all day, every day. Then, I would get to a job and wouldn't start. I'd be frustrated. Oh no, it's not starting again. Those machines aren't built for heavy use. So if you start with a low tier setup equipment, just know that you're going to be forced to either keep replacing it or you'll be forced to upgrade. But if that's what you can afford, then by all means, get it. Get in where you fit in and then eventually catch up with the big boys. You don't have to wait to go to the gym until you can bench 200 pounds or whatever, right? Or 225. You go to the gym, you start benching what you can, you get stronger, and then eventually you work your way up, and then you're benching 225. No one starts out the gate benching 225 or more, right? You have to start off with 25 pounds on each side, and then you do 35 pounds on each side. Then you do 45 pounds. I don't know why a lot of people don't understand that same concept in other areas of life. You see somebody who's already in the industry and has a great setup, and you want to start exactly where they're at. No, find your own lane, find your own pace. Do what works for you. Don't try to mimic or exactly copy other people. Yeah, you can learn from them business wise, but if you see some of the top people in the industry and see where they're at in the multiple trucks and a big business, that wasn't built overnight. So if you come out the gate trying to match them, all you're gonna have is the same equipment as them. You will not have the business knowledge, the experience, or the clientele to match them. So start off where you can get your foot in the door. And if that means you only have a $500 budget, then by all means, get your $500 equipment, do great work for people, then upgrade. You do not have to start off, big boss looking all good, right? Know how to use the equipment, know how to do great work before you want to go out and invest $15,000, $20,000 to get this started in this business. Because if you invest $500 and it doesn't work out, you're literally only out $500. That's pennies, right? You haven't taken a big loss. Whoop-de-doo, it doesn't work out. Boom, you've lost $500, big deal. Or even if it's 1,000, then so even if you start off low tier and you're saying yourself right now, I want to get started in this business, but I don't have a lot of money. You don't even have $1,000 to get started. So you have to get a little bit creative too. Being an entrepreneur is about being resourceful. So business literally, it weeds people out from the get-go. Why isn't everybody in pressure washing? Number one, everybody's not willing to work hard. A lot of people are looking for the easy money. Pressure washing, once you learn it, is it pretty easy? Yeah, but like what I call it easy money? No, it takes work. Two is everybody's not resourceful. Some people are going to see how much it costs to get started and immediately give up. Oh, I don't have $1,000 in my bank account. I don't have 500. So they're going to immediately tell themselves they don't have the money. They're not even going to try to figure it out. Boom, weed it out. Then you have the people who see the opportunity, see how much it costs, and then they get to thinking and being strategic and figuring out how can I get this money if I don't have it right now, right? Or how can I get this equipment? I need to do what I can. Here's some basic strategies. You can go to Home Depot and rent your equipment. You can line up jobs first, sell your service before you have the equipment, go rent the equipment, do the job, take the money that you made from the job, and then start investing in actually owning your equipment. That's one way. Two, you can literally go to Harbor Freight right now. They now have a credit card. They didn't have a credit card for the longest time, but now Harbor Freight has a store credit card, right? For purchases over $500, they give you 12 months, 0% interest. Store cards are easy to get approved for. Go to the Harbor Freight right now. Grab you the Predator commercial grade pressure washer, right? Plus the protection plan is going to cost you about $1,000. So boom, you have your main piece of equipment out the gate and no money out of pocket because you use a credit card. Now, some people are going to argue, oh, debt is bad, blah, blah, blah. I just said there's no interest and then you got 12 months. Your payments are going to break down at minimum payment, which don't make the minimum payment, but if you were forced to, which I don't know why you would be, it's probably going to break down to $25, $35. It's going to be no more than that per month because they're going to try to make that payment as small as possible so you can pay as much interest as possible. So don't make the minimum payment. But you use $1,000, now you have the equipment, you go out and make the money, and you pay off that credit card within your first month of business, and you just start your business without not that much investment out of your initial pocket. Yeah, there'll still be some other things that you can't buy from Harbor Freight, whatever. But one of your big parts of your investment has just been covered by using the credit card. Obviously, pay it off. Don't be dumb. That's a different conversation. Manage your money right. Cool. So that's just some talk. That's some talk on numbers and how to get enter into the industry. The last part of this, before my battery dies, I don't feel like changing it. I'm gonna try to quickly go over some strategies for how you take this full time. So I'm trying to run through this really quickly. One, treat it like a business. So when I say treat it like a business, actually look over everything you're doing right now. So if you're doing pressure washing right now, a lot of people are doing certain things as hobbies, right? So you're doing pressure washing and it's nothing more than a hobby. And it's why you're making hobby money with it. If you want to make, 6 figures with your business, treat it like a 6-figure business. So, manage books, have SOPs, actually have a plan for marketing and acquiring customers, have a CRM, be professional, manage, your customer service, answer phone calls. These are simple things. Charge the right price, dig deep into the industry and learn as much as you can. That's really literally the formula. It's not that complicated for how you take this thing full time. While you're having your full-time job, squeeze in as many jobs as you can on the side on your off days or free time, whatever. You can be pressure washing, whether it's practicing or paid clients. If it's paid clients, be saving that money up and put up enough money to where you can leave your job. You have a savings or an emergency fund. So if you quit your job and things don't work out for a few months like you think they will, because chances are you're not just gonna start making 6 figures overnight in this business. So have a little bit of a little safety net that can feed you if worst come to worst, you get zero business. So my honest recommendation is start saving money, put away money. So at least you're covered there. You're not starving your family while you try to build your pressure washing business, right? And then keep building clientele, get the word out. Tell people what you do. So in conversation, your friends, your family, the guys you're talking to about football and all this stuff, you know, you talk to people all the time, advertise your services. It doesn't have to be like, you know, everyone you call, you have to, I mean, everyone calls you or that you're texting, you have to say, hey, I pressure wash. It doesn't have to be that way. Or like, you know, you don't have to be in everybody's face like, yo, 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 yo. No, I'm just playing. Don't be in anybody's face like that. But just like in conversation, just kind of mention it. Oh yeah, by the way, man, I started a pressure washing business. Anything done, here's my card. It's not an aggressive sell like, hey dog, hey neighbor, knocking on your neighbor's house. You need your house pressure washed? Like you a crack fiend or something. Like just, you know, chill. Like keep it simple. But that's rapid fire. That's my advice for how to get started in this industry, how to take it full time. I gave you some numbers. I showed you what's in my truck. If you want more information, you're still confused about the business, I do have a training over at sixfigurepressurewashing.com that kind of go A to Z, basically all information that I feel like you need to get started in the industry. So I'm gonna teach you everything because you need to get out there and actually do the work to learn some things. But a lot of things I wish I would have had when I first started, I put in the course. Plus you get a free website. If you're interested, link will be in the description. It's not a high pressure sell. You can literally learn for free on YouTube, whatever. Save your time, save your money. But if you feel it's valuable, then get it. If not, then ignore it. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't make a difference in my life. But I hope you enjoyed this video. My camera's about to die, so I'm talking fast and I need to leave now. Peace out, guys. Love you. Subscribe, comment, like.